Hello, hi everybody. Welcome to Bookmarked Chapter 30. I can't believe we're already on Chapter 30. It's been like no time at all, but also so long, so it's super weird. You are obviously on my channel, so you know who I am.
Is it me next?
It's me next. It's all good. I'm Zoe. I'm Zoe from ReadbyZoe.
And I'm Hailey from Hailey and Bookland, the constant mess.
So today we're going to be talking about some book recommendations. We did another chapter that was similar to this in the past, but basically we're just kind of taking some of your prompts and then giving you book recommendations based on those prompts. So we asked for some on Twitter earlier today, and we got lots of good replies. So we're going to go through those and answer them later on. So if you have any other prompts, you can go ahead and leave them in the chat below as well, and we'll answer those too. But before we get into that, what are we all currently reading? I will start because I'm actually reading things this time. It's been like 2 months and I finally have started reading things. I already read a book, but right now I am almost about to finish Clockwork Angel for our live show on Sunday, which will also be on my channel at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. I always forget the time for that one. So we're going to be reading Clockwork Angel for that and discussing it on Sunday. And I'm rereading the book for that. And I forgot how much I love it. It's just so good. So I'm almost done with that. And then this morning I started reading Ninth House, which is amazing. And yes, it's so good. It's so good and so wonderful. So yeah, I've been actually reading, which is great.
Yeah, buddy. I'm also about to start Clockwork Angel. Sorry, I'm sick. But I'm about to read this, and I'm currently also reading 2 books that are quite similar to each other. I'm reading Red, White, and Royal Blue. I still haven't finished this one, by Casey McQuiston, and Prince Charming by Rachel Hawkins. They're both like British monarchy, like falling in love with an American. It's and they have very similar covers too. But
They do.
I'm liking
That's
them
like
both.
the exact same shade of pink.
I know, but they're both good in different ways.
Yeah. I just started Clockwork Angel and will be doing nothing but reading it for the next, like 2-3 days, however long, because it's going to take me so long, but I have to finish it by Sunday. So catch me doing absolutely nothing else. But that's the only thing I'm reading right now.
Yay. So we are just going to go through some of the prompts that we got on Twitter as well as in the chat. So like I said, if you have any other book recommendation prompts, like for example, you can say like, recommend me a historical fiction book or recommend a book with the friends to lovers trope or something like that. And we will try and give you our best recommendations. And if we can't give one, feel free to give your own recommendations in the chat as well.
Please.
Yeah, because like obviously we haven't read everything, but I would also like to get some recommendations for some of these books too.
So they're talking about the Raptors in the chat right now. It's so amazing. Oh, sorry.
One of my favorite things is after this, I usually like scroll through afterwards and I look at all the recommendations. So definitely if you have any recommendations, even if they don't like necessarily fit the prompt super well, just like give us some recommendations. We all need some.
Yeah. Okay, so the first one is from Steam Potter on Twitter, and it says, rec a book with time travel. What's your time travel recommendation?
I always feel like I've never read anything.
I know, me too. Same.
Have you read Harry Potter?
Have you heard of this book called Harry Potter? It's kind of underrated.
Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban. No, Cursed Child. There you go. That's the one you should read.
I would say I feel like I'm going to recommend this multiple times because I don't know why my brain just goes to this book every time I think about recommendations, but Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. I know we literally just talked about this right before the live started, and Hailey was saying she doesn't really like that book that much. I really liked it though. I think it's in part because I read it at a like good time for me, where I just like needed a good distracting book, and that book was that for me. But I really like the time travel aspect of that story, so I highly recommend that duology. I think it's really fun.
Doesn't The Last Magician have time travel?
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. How did I forget? Okay, that's my #1 recommendation.
I'm going to get to you.
Thank you. The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. It has time travel, so it's set in modern-day New York, and then the main character has the ability to time travel because she's there are people with like powers, and that's her power. And she time travels to the Gilded Age New York, like New York in the Gilded Age, and there's like a heist and all the stuff that goes on there. So highly recommend that book. I'm obsessed with it. It's so good.
Excellent. I don't really have any. I don't know.
I feel like there are way more.
Ed trilogy, but I didn't like that. So
Mhm.
I know it's supposed to be better in German, but I can't read German. But
And they made a book-to-movie adaptation of that,
they
right?
did, yeah.
I read a lot of books that like they deal with bending time, but not a lot that have to deal with like stopping time or just like pausing time for a little bit. Not a lot that is time traveling.
Yeah.
So
What's a bending time one?
well, like the Night Circus and stuff, they like kind of move around with time, like they play with it, but it's not necessarily like time travel.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I really like time travel. And I want it in like more things, but I feel like I haven't read that much of it.
No.
Or like it's not done well.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Magic Treehouse.
There you
go. Yes.
They travel into the future too.
They travel everywhere. I don't know.
So
I don't remember.
I don't think they do.
It's been so long.
I don't know. But I like the way that like Prisoner of Azkaban deals with time travel, that like what has been done has already happened, rather than like the butterfly effect, like it'll mess everything up. So I don't know. I need to read more. So do we have our next one?
Yeah. From Sophie from Sophisticated Books. She said a book that involves parallel universes, which is kind of similar to time travel almost.
Didn't we talk about this earlier?
We did.
I forgot.
A Darker Shade of Magic.
Yeah.
By V.E. Schwab.
Others.
Definitely a number one recommendation.
The Seanan McGuire thing.
Yeah.
That would be parallel universes, right?
Every Heart a Doorway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
And it's like even genuinely universes like through doorways. Like it's Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like with fairy tales.
Wait, was his Dark Materials parallel universes?
I never read it, so I don't know.
I read the first book, but that was back in middle school. Oh, I don't remember that. Thank you, people in the chat. Nice. The Opposite of Always has time travel. Interesting. A lot of people said his Dark Materials. So there you go. I need to reread that, especially the adaptations coming out like next year or something. So, okay. So what is our next one?
From Blonde Books, a book with good anxiety rep.
Eliza and Her Monsters is a really good one. And same with Turtles All the Way Down. Those two are like, Hannah and I read it. We were like reading them together and just like, those have very different types of anxiety too. I'm trying to think of one.
I think that's a tough one because like everyone experiences it so differently.
I like The Upside of Unrequited. The Upside of Unrequited is more of like she's already in therapy and already taking like medication and stuff like that too. So it's showing like coping with anxiety rather than it being debilitating. So I like that one.
I'm trying to think. I feel like there's a fantasy book or something that I read where there was a character who had anxiety, but I don't remember now.
Oh Long May She Reign by Rhiannon Thomas has that. And that one was a good one. I appreciated that.
Oh yeah, Truly Devious. We just read that.
Oh right. Okay, yeah, it wasn't fantasy. That's what I was thinking of. I was like, there's a series.
Yeah, and also like taking medication. So I like that too.
Those are all really great ones. I want to read the one you suggested, Hailey.
Need to write that down.
I liked it.
Okay. What's a book with older teens / college aged characters? That's from Find Me in Library on Twitter.
Again, but better by Christie.
True. Isn't she 20, right?
She's 20.
I don't remember.
I think she's 20. We haven't read it yet, but please read it.
Yeah. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. That one's like a classic.
She's 18, right?
I know she's in college. That's all I know.
Yeah, she's a freshman.
Radio Silence.
Yeah. There's the Just One Day duology by Gail Forman. That one's also good.
I'm trying to think. Well, I think anything by Taylor Jenkins Reid. She has like some of her earlier stuff. She has a lot of characters who start off like when they're in college. And and it goes through their lives when they get like a bit older. Like I think I don't remember, but like one of her oldest characters in those earlier books. So I'm not talking like Evelyn Hugo or Daisy Jones, but like maybe in another life. And what's the other one called? One True Loves and After I Do. Like the main characters start off in about like college age, and it goes through like when they're maybe 25, something like that, 26. And yeah, I think those are really great if you're looking for that age group.
Well, even with Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones, like they start when they're
Yeah.
young too. And then, so like, I think it's good for anybody, but also, oh yeah, Red, White, and Royal Blue, they're in college. So I think our main character is 21. So very good. Like he's in college, about to graduate, which is always a time that I want more people to write about rather than, we have a lot of ones that are like entering college, but not a lot that's like, what do you do afterwards? So very much.
It's like when every TV show, like they start off with people in high school and then they skip all 4 years of college and then they're just like, this is life now.
Yeah.
That's me calling out One Tree Hill because that's what that show. Okay. From the book tree, Book with a Healthy Romance.
Oh my god, I feel like I just read one too.
Yeah, you've been reading a lot of romance.
Yeah.
Don't have any in my life, so I'm like, cool, need it. I want to say Josh and Hazel was a pretty healthy
romance. That was very healthy. Yeah. I agree.
I feel like that one was a good one. So I think that one for sure. I also appreciated the romance in Warrior. What is it? Yeah, Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller. I thought that one was also healthy representation. I feel like for the most part, YA is pretty good at having healthy romance representation.
More modern YAs, like it's getting better.
I'm talking about like more recently. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like now mostly like the problems in a lot of the romances in more like of the modern YA books, especially like fantasy, it's like the only reason they're not healthy is because there's so many like extenuating circumstances in their relationships. Like I was thinking like what's it called? An Ember in the Ashes. Not that I would really necessarily consider that like a healthy romance because there's so much going on in their lives that like they're
solid.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of like the issue with a lot of those books.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people are recommending I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver as like, a lot of these. So I just got it from the library. I'm very excited to read
that
it.
so bad.
And people are saying this is a really healthy and also I think our main character is non-binary and there's anxiety rep. So yeah. Let's read it. Let's do this thing.
Okay. Okay. A book about pirates.
Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller.
Is that good?
That one. I liked it a lot. I don't think Hannah would like it. Hannah's taste is also very hard for me to pin down though. But it's more of like a romantic story than I was expecting, and it's a little bit more of like a sexy romantic story too than I was expecting. So I liked that, but I also did like the pirate element. I thought that was enjoyable.
It has time travel too.
That one's a good one. What does? Daughter of the Pirate King?
Someone said it has time travel too.
I don't remember. Honestly, don't.
Oh no.
It very well might. To Kill a Kingdom is also really good. Yeah, I liked that one a lot as well.
Is that
kind of
Alexandra?
Alexandra Christo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's the one who just did Into the Crooked Place?
Yeah, that one that's coming out. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out who everybody is.
Nailed it.
I feel like I've never read a pirate book. All I remember is Peter and the Starcatchers, like back when I read that in elementary school. It's a Peter Pan retelling.
Well,
that's the only thing I remember.
All I can think of that had pirates, or like I guess pirate types of people, were like the Six of Crows duology and like the Grisha trilogy a little bit, and and A Darker Shade of Magic, because Alucard Emery is a pirate. So
like an actual ship pirate, or just like a
no, he has a ship, like he's a pirate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We have a recommendation request here from Hufflepuff Reader, who asks, do you guys have any smutty book recs for Smuttathon, which is currently happening right now? And Hailey, do you have any? You read a lot of romance that could be considered like smut.
I think the like smuttiest that I got was The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, and I really liked that one because it was kind of like the perfect mix for me of like smut but also cute. I'm just trying to open up my Goodreads so I can like look at them, which ones I've read recently because I feel like it's been so long. I went on like a spree of reading so many and then nothing. I think that one would be good. The Hating Game kind of gets there a little bit. That's like an enemies to lovers.
And it's going to be adapted.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But I think those would be my main ones.
Josh and Hazel definitely could count.
Yeah, I just don't think it's that smutty.
I mean,
like I wasn't reading it for the sex scenes.
I mean, I wasn't
reading it
either,
for
but
the
they were there.
relationship.
They were gifted to us.
Yeah, they just like I don't know. The sex scenes weren't like
they're not like
it wasn't that much. No,
but I think I'm not sure what you would consider to be smutty. So it's all different depending on the person.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you read The Unhoneymooners?
I did. That one's not also. I don't find that Christina Lauren's books get like super smutty. Or no, okay. I haven't read her like Beautiful Bastard series or their Beautiful Bastard series or anything like that. And those ones I'm sure do, but I don't think that The Unhoneymooners got like that bad. That one was also a cute one though. That was fun as far as romance goes.
We have some really good recommendations in the comments. Oh yeah, The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. That's a good one. So there's also, I think, Chandler Ainsley did a whole like introduction to smut video, and I think Chelsea Darling Reads also has a smut recommendations video. I think that one, I think I'm thinking of the right video, but there are definitely avenues if you want to know some more.
We have another one from Twitter. From Lana's Book World, since it's Pride, what are your favorite LGBTQI plus rep books? Also, Happy Pride, everybody.
Yeah. Happy Pride.
The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. That one is great. What's it called? Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst.
I really want to read that.
Yeah, that one was really good. There's also Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins, which is a companion to Prince Charming, and Her Royal Highness. Yeah, that one. That one was so cute. Yeah, it was really, really good. It's one of my favorite sapphic romances that I have read.
I definitely say this one's like more sad, and I don't like want to just recommend sad ones, but it's just because this book means a lot to me, which is Paperweight by Meg Haston. I don't read it for like the romance, but it's just like it's not about the romance, but like the rep in there I think is great. And also what's it called? Love and Other Carnivorous Plants, which I think is like highly underrated. Another book where the characters are older, like and in college.
Yay.
And she's like the main character went to Harvard and then she drops out of her second semester because she enters treatment, and then it's about like this girl that she met while she was in treatment, and then like her feelings for her, and it's really good. It also deals with like really heavy stuff, but it's not like a sad, tragic type of book. And I really enjoyed that one too. There's definitely more. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe is like one of my all-time favorites. And I don't have my bookshelf with me, so now I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I feel like I'm, again, forgetting every single book I've ever read, and all I can think of is Radio Silence. Literally the only one that like it fits all of these.
Amazing.
But I just read My Brother's Husband, which I read volume 1 and I have volume 2 right here. It's a graphic novel. It's also like more sad because it's about.
He looks like the guy from Dream Daddy.
I know, does he not?
He straight up looks like the guy from Dream Daddy.
That's what caught my attention.
Oh my god!
Like, wow, I feel like I've seen him before. But it's set in Japan. It's about how because he's Canadian, he married his twin brother, and they were married in Canada, and then the twin brother died, so he went back to Japan to meet his family. And since Japan, at least at the time of writing this, or at the time it's set, is very like against like LGBTQIA plus relationships, and it's about like him getting to know like his brother through his husband, and it's very good.
That sounds really cute.
Yeah, it's about like prejudices and stuff, and it made me cry. It's so good.
I also really like The Prince and the Dressmaker.
Yes!
I think that one's also really beautiful. for like graphic novel. Great to read during Pride. Super happy story. Like I loved it.
It's so colorful, and it's set in like Paris in the 1800s or 1700s.
Yeah. I think it's
the French
1700.
Revolution. Yeah.
Something like that.
When they were still royalty. Song of Achilles I didn't know was gay. People were saying it's gay.
That's,
I didn't know
the whole
that.
plot.
I haven't even read it, and I
don't even know what it's about. I think I keep confusing it with another one that people didn't like.
Okay. Oh no, I left the thing. There was another one that I wanted to answer. Oh, Chandler from Chandler Ainsley asked, a book with your favorite ship.
We thought about that
earlier
for a very long time.
And I was like, we're not going to talk about relationship. We're going to talk about straight up ships, some spaceships and some boat ships. Take us away.
Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, A Darker Shade of Magic.
I forgot what
real
ships.
ships.
The pirate. I forgot her the Pirate King before.
Didn't you say Skyward?
Oh yeah, because that was a spaceship. So Skyward by Brandon Sanderson.
Is that your favorite ship that you've ever read about?
That's my favorite ship that I've ever read. A really funny ship.
Was there one in Infernal Devices?
No.
Infernal Devices. I think she gets there on a ship, so I'm gonna.
No, I think they're talking about an actual ship in.
Yeah, they're talking about like what we should be talking
Tessa
about,
gets to the UK on a ship, so that's my favorite ship I've ever read because it brought her to the UK. There you go, my answer. Ha 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 ha.
But in actuality, like books with my favorite ships, the two that I can think of off the top of my head, like that I just love the most, are An Ember in the Ashes and Six of Crows.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
I don't know.
Infernal Devices. All three of them can get it.
I'm so bad at these. I don't know. I have no answers.
You like Josh and Hazel, right?
Oh, I do like Josh and Hazel a lot. Yeah, it's mostly because I want to date Josh.
I feel like I'm not as strong about ships nowadays as I was in high school. Because in high school, reading YA in high school, you feel much more like you can, sorry, I'm reading the comments. But you feel much more like you can like put yourself in their shoes. But now that I'm like trying to find books about like 20-somethings, it's not as easy.
No.
But I think that's why I can't. I don't know. But I still like reading about healthy relationships. I just don't fangirl about them as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite ones that have like great romances are all Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, like all of her books.
Yeah.
Every time I read them, I'm just like, wow, this is love.
Well, what did you were reading Clockwork Angel and you're like, oh, this is the scene that made me believe
Yeah.
in love.
So there's a scene in Clockwork Angel.
We'll talk more about it on Sunday, but
yeah, we'll talk about it on Sunday more. But like there's a scene in Clockwork Angel, and I read that book for the first time when I was like 12, I think. 12. Because I was in middle school, and there's a scene in there, and I was telling them I got to that scene in the book yesterday, and I was like, I got to like that scene, the scene that taught me what love is. And like
I remember that
that's how I feel about Clockwork Angel.
I only read it once, and I read all 3 books during spring break, but I vividly remember that scene because also same. We had from Lucian Appadisano on the chat, books with complex magic systems.
Sorry, I'm laughing at people quoting the Jasmine Masters, like give the yeah,
I know, that's exactly what I was thinking when I said it. I didn't even mean to, it just happened.
So good. Oh my god.
I'm
so sorry.
Complex magic system.
Yeah.
Oh.
A Darker Shade of Magic. I keep suggesting that. I'm sorry. I'm never going to shut up about Victoria Schwab's books. But A Darker Shade of Magic, I think, has a really cool magic system. Yeah. And it's complex, but not like confusing.
Yeah. I think it's either like so simple, if they're just like magic, or it's like very complex.
Yeah.
So
I think Brandon Sanderson as well, the Mistborn trilogy, has a really complex magic system, but I think it's really, really well done. Again, it's like not confusing once you start reading the book. So
is that the one where they ingest metal?
Yeah, so it's like there are like 12 different metals or something like in the world in their universe, and people have like different powers based on those metals, and usually each person who has the ability to use magic can only use one type of metal. And then there are what are they called? Mistborns? I think they're called Mistborns. They have the ability to use like all 12 metals. I think that's right. I read these books like 3 years ago, so it's been some time. Katie!
Hello. Crying at my door, but she doesn't really want to be here.
Well, I want her
I
here.
agree.
So why are you like this?
Oh yeah, people are saying Warbreaker, Truth Witch. Oh, is that the
Truth Witch is
I
great.
I need to read that.
That magic system's awesome.
That's one where
Highly
they all
recommend.
there's like blood witches and
Yeah, so it's like almost elemental, but it's not entirely elemental.
Okay.
So people have like magic based on different elements, but there are also like thread witches and truth witches. So a thread witch can like see the threads that connect people, and a truth witch can discern truth and lie. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's also why I liked the Grisha trilogy, even though like I didn't really like the plot of that, but the magic system and like the whole world building was really well done. How there are different types. It's like elemental, but also like there are people who can like make materials stronger and things like that. I really like that. Okay, do we have another one? Oh, here's one from Maisie Reads middle grade books. Do we have any good middle grade ones? I don't know why I said that.
I just read this.
Oh yeah, we got
it comes out in September. Okay, so it's for like a while away. But I just read this. It's a graphic novel by the same author who wrote The Prince and the Dressmaker, and it's really cute. It's really good and heartwarming. It's basically about this girl named Christine. Yeah, Christine, and this new friend that she makes named Moon, and it's about being like Asian in an all like Asian community and the differences like within that community as well. And it's about friendship, and it's really good. So I highly suggest this one, and it's middle grade, so it's wonderful if you're looking for a new graphic novel.
Oh, it's yeah, I'm so excited to read that. But also there's Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, I believe. I still haven't read the second one, but that one was really good. It's compared to like Harry Potter, but it's a little bit like more whimsical. Like it keeps how whimsical it was in the first book. And also obviously like Percy Jackson. That's one that a lot of people are saying. Anne of Green Gables, I agree. Magic Tree.
Yes.
Magic
Honestly.
Tree. There we go, buddy.
I mean, it's a bit younger than middle grade, but
I read it
still
all
great.
ages. All ages.
Still great, honestly. Someone said furthermore. Oh, it's Books and Lala. Furthermore by Tahara Mafi is really good. I liked that one a lot. It was very like Wonderland-esque, so I enjoyed that one.
Have you read Winterwood? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I liked that one.
Did you like that one too?
I think it's Witchwood.
Witchwood. There we go. Sorry. Yeah. I didn't remember. There's snowflakes on the cover, so I was like, winter?
Yeah, it's really pretty. I liked that one a lot too. It was kind of darker, like unexpectedly darker, so.
Well, I knew the main character of that one was Persian.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really want to read it. Yeah.
She like cleans dead bodies, right?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. Would assume it would be a little bit darker.
Yeah.
Okay, so from Tiger Chloe 28 on Twitter, a spooky paranormal book.
Diviners.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing else. No.
Coraline's good too.
I love that one.
I actually like the movie more, but the book was also still really good, especially if you're younger. I think it would really creep. Oh, get the one with the illustrations because you will die.
Love that.
Love it.
Have any of you read Mara Dyer?
Yeah, I read the first one.
I liked it good when I first read it. I don't know that I would like it now.
Okay.
Yeah, I read it.
I just have this weird like inkling where I just really want to read that series, and I feel like I won't really like it that much.
Yeah,
but I want to read it.
Very interested to see what your opinion would be.
I'll update you.
Excellent.
I don't really remember much about it. I read the first one and then I didn't continue on. And then there's like the new spin-off.
Yeah, I read the new one and I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
But you should go ahead. You should try it. Go for it.
I'll try it. We'll see what I think. I'm trying to think of something spooky. I mean, it's not spooky and paranormal. It's not paranormal, but the Truly Devious series, I think, is pretty like creepy. It's great to read during like Halloween or something, like during the fall months when you want to be like creeped out a little. Yeah, I definitely say that one.
The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kirsten White. I liked that one a lot. That's a Frankenstein retelling.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. That was like kind of like a fun like Mean Girls zombie sort of thing that I didn't think I would like at all, but I actually quite enjoyed.
That's cool.
And then there's by Marisha Pessel. That one was really interesting. Definitely very like spooky, but also fascinating.
Have you read Night Film by her?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
It didn't really appeal to me. I don't know why, but I picked up this one and I enjoyed it. So maybe I will.
Okay. Because I want to read Night Film by her, but I also want to read that one. So I just don't know which one to read first.
Yeah. I can't help either. I'm sorry.
Oh, The Raven Cycle. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Raven Boys.
That's paranormal. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's spooky. It's perfect all year round.
Yeah.
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 Also, oh gosh, Agatha Christie. That's a good one. All of Neil Gaiman. I've only read Coraline so far, but
no, I've read Ocean at the End of the Lane. That one's also pretty creepy. So that one's great.
I don't know why.
You look so sad. I don't know why.
I'm so tired still.
Nah, we're on top of this.
Oh, this is for Hailey because she reads the most of this. There is a fly in my room, and I think I just caught it. Okay, I didn't. From Divergent Soul on Twitter, Wreck a Historical Fiction Book. It's your time to shine.
I love historical fiction.
Yes.
So there's Salt to the Sea by Rita Sepetys. Also Between Shades of Grey by Rita Sepetys. She's like a really, really phenomenal author for that genre. Let me open up my shelf on Goodreads.
There's also her new book that's coming out.
What?
Do you have organized shelves on Goodreads?
On Goodreads? Yeah, I do.
Oh
How do you use my brain? That's the only way I don't die.
There's also her new book coming out.
Yeah.
But none of us have read it, so we can't recommend it yet. But
we're really excited about it. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. That's an adult one. It's phenomenal. One of my absolute favorite books of all time. It is so, so good. You will cry your eyes out, but you will also love it at the same time. There is also Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse. That's a really cool historical fiction set in World War II in Amsterdam, and it is written by a journalist, so that like kind of comes through in it because it's sort of like an investigation story. Moving away from World War II historical fiction though, which I could go on for ever about. There's also The Lady Elizabeth by Alison Weir. She writes really good Tudor era historical fiction. I know a lot of people talk about Philippa Gregory more, and like I like Philippa Gregory, but I find that I enjoy Alison Weir a little bit more. They're more exciting and engaging, and she's also a historian, so like they're well researched and such. For a funny one, there's My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, and actually Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. Those are super fun. They have My Lady Jane and My Plain Jane, and I will leave you with those because I can go on and on and on. There are so many. Oh, Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wein and The Book Thief, obviously, but I felt like that one without saying.
I liked the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Also, the movie, so good. You should read it and then watch the movie. Or no, watch the movie, then read it. You just got to do both. They add so much to each other. The movie's so cute. I've seen it so many times.
I really like All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I think that one's really, really good. And then my favorite historical fiction book that I've literally ever read, which I keep telling Hailey she needs to read because I know she'll love it, is Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Because that book, it's so good. It is so good. It's Spanish Civil War, and it's phenomenal.
I need to read it. I will. I will do it, I promise.
If you like books, like you'll like that book because so much of that book is about books.
If you're here today,
you'll like it.
We assume. That's all the ones I can think of. We need Hailey to write a list.
Honestly. Instead of just couldn't keep up with that. What?
I love it. We just got one from the chat from Mafia, a book with a very strong friendship, like a contemporary with a strong friendship. Radio silence. Keep on recommending that. I'm trying to think of ones that aren't like it's not friendship to lover, like it's just friendship,
which is so hard.
I know.
I feel like there are really good friendships in the Graceling trilogy. Those are very like romance-based, heavily romance-based, but like when there are friendships in the books, they're phenomenal and they're just like really, really wonderful. So I think those have great friendships if that's something you want with romance as well. What else?
All the ones that I'm looking at turned into romances. So
Angie Thomas's books have really good like family and friendship
True.
like, relationships in there, I guess. They're really, really good. I would say those are some of my favorites.
And dumping of like toxic friendships and family members, which I like too. I feel like that's a good thing to include. There's also To All the Boys I Loved Before that has like a good family. Not the best friendship, but the family's really strong.
Yeah, I think that's all I've got.
Yeah.
Probably forgetting so
all
many.
All the rest turned into friendship, so turned into love, so
yeah.
Oopsies. Someone said Again But Better. I hope that's true, because that'd be cute. But we need to read it first. Okay. How about our next one?
A lot of these are just repeats of the same thing, so I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
A good standalone book. That's from
Radio Silence.
Oh my god, Radio Silence one more time. Sorry. Amazing. We all love it. It is really
good. It's funny how many things it can fit.
No, I know.
I did a whole book on like my favorite standalone books, and now I'm like, I've never read a standalone book.
Daisy Jones and the Six.
True.
Evelyn
That's like
Hugo.
My favorite.
Oh yeah, I literally just did a video. This is like 2 videos ago. I think I did a video about this, and now I'm like, have I ever read a book in my life? Oh my god, just go and watch my video. Give me them views.
Oh my gosh. Sadie by Courtney Summers is a good one.
Which one?
Sadie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was in the video. I nailed it.
Oh no, just kidding. That's not.
The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender.
Oh yes,
Walton. That's like my favorite one.
I'm trying to think. Oh, The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X. Pan. I think that one's really good too.
Amazing. Radio Silence in my video.
I'm trying to think of like fantasy.
Yeah.
Standalone fantasy.
That one's hard. Warrior of the Wild by Tricia Levenseller is a standalone fantasy. And then there's also Long May She Reign by Rhiannon Thomas is technically a standalone fantasy, but like it's not super fantastical. So it was marketed as such and people got mad about it. So like don't be expecting like a bunch of magic and stuff, but it is technically like a fantastical universe.
Oh yeah, The Night Circus.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm picking up.
I'm trying to recommend things that I don't talk about like every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm going to include it for you.
Thank you.
Heartless by Marissa Meyer. That one is a great, so good. Alice in Wonderland retelling. I love it so much.
Are there any more in the chat that we want to go to?
A lot of them are people recommending things, so thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys are great. And I'm honestly going to go through here and like with a paper and pencil and write down all of these. Priory of the Orange Tree. I haven't read that yet. A Monster Calls. Yes. A good one. And a lot of Circe. I still need to read Circe.
Oh, Circe. Circe. Read Circe. It's so good.
Big Little Lies. That's a good one. Also, the TV show is coming back this weekend. We're getting Meryl Streep on TV, everybody. You guys ready? I'm ready. So
this one from Twitter from Nina, a book that screams summer. Screams is in all
Screams.
caps.
Morgan Matson. Anything by Morgan Matson. I especially recommend Since You've Been Gone. That's my favorite one by her. But also, if you want to cry, then Second Chance Summer is another good one. What else?
The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren definitely is very summery. It's because they go on vacation and they go like to Hawaii, so it just felt very summery. I also just did a video about this. I mean, it's technically vacation reads, but like it also fits for summer. But I think that the Honeymooners definitely is the one that yells it at me.
Oh yeah, Maureen Gu. I've only read oh my gosh, what was the name of her first book? I Believe in a Thing Called Love. Is that the first one?
I think so.
Yes. But I really like that one. And apparently, according to Liv from Stories for Coffee, all of her books fit the summary theme. Ooh. Oh yeah, To All the Boys Loved Before. Anything by Jenny Han.
That's what I was about to say. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, even though it all takes place during like school. To me, I'm just like, that's summer. Like that's a summer book.
It's a lighthearted contemporary, so
yeah.
There you go. We have Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. Don't read it when you're on a plane, because I did that.
Oh my god.
There's a plane crash. It's not a good idea.
Isn't the whole thing a plane crash? Like, isn't it a Lord of the Flies retelling?
Yeah. It's epic. It's so listen to the audiobook.
I want to.
Narrates it, and she there's like commercials in between. It's so good. I love that audiobook. I had to read it for a women's studies class, and I had already read it. It was just so good. I love it.
Read it when you are safely on the ground, though.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so many. Big Little Lies could also fit that. I mean, it's not like super like happy in summary, but it takes place in Australia, and it's just like, I don't know, it's a good beach read. Oh, anything by Sophie Kinsella. Anything by Sophie Kinsella. I love her books so much. Haven't read them in a while, but I like them.
Also, this one from Books and Gymnastics, books with multimedia formats. Ooh. I love that. Like, I love books with multimedia formats.
Illuminate.
I still need to read that.
So good.
Amy Rogers' Epic Detour.
You don't think I'd like it?
I don't know if you would.
Oh.
I don't understand you. Who are you? I think you would probably like it, but like...
I feel like I would like it.
Yeah, I think you would like it. I don't know, though. I don't know.
Every time we recommend something, we have to be like, maybe, like, just don't have great expectations. Like, me with Hello, My 20s, I was like, I don't know if you'll like it. But there we go.
Evelyn Hugo has multimedia formats.
Amy Rogers' Epic Detour. Yeah. There are, like, receipts and stuff in it. I really like that. Oh, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green.
What does that have?
I don't know, but Vanessa said that, so I said yes. I thought I was forgetting something.
I don't remember. I mean, she's read it like 50 billion times, so I trust her, but...
Yeah. Vanessa, what are you talking about? But I also agree. I recommend that. Okay. Oh, Sadie. Sadie. Yes.
Oh, yeah, Sadie.
Yeah,
of course. 1000%. Okay, we're not gonna recommend books with a plot twist because that will spoil it. Sorry.
Like any Cassandra Clare book has a plot twist. There you go.
I do not want to spoil anybody.
I think we can probably take a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have any last minute ones you want to add to the chat, and we will continue recommending stuff. Do you like something super specific that's like really niche, like a book where like the main character, like I don't know, hates ducks? But I only said that because I'm reading Clockwork Angels. So.
Oh my God. A book based on knees and kind of just
Okay.
Oh, okay. What's a book that made you laugh?
Oh.
My Lady Jane.
Is that the one that's have you read both of them?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, which one is the one that's historical?
I mean, they both are.
Oh, okay.
My Plain Jane is Jane Eyre. My Lady Jane is Lady Jane Grey, the 9 Days Queen.
Which one is the one I have that you told me to read?
I think you have the second one.
I think I have the second one. Yeah, too. Yeah.
What color is it?
Green.
Is it yellow? Ooh.
But I think I have the Owl Crate edition or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, with purple.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay. That one. Okay.
That's the Jane Eyre one.
Okay.
I have them actually both right next to each other. But these are both really funny and like they're so ridiculous that they shouldn't work, but they do. But I do agree that My Lady Jane is the funnier of both of them, but they're both really good.
Can you read them out of order?
Oh yeah, they're not connected.
Okay.
They're 0% connected. It doesn't matter at all.
I think Gentleman's Guide to Vice and
Yeah.
Virtue is one of the funniest books I've ever read.
Yeah, that one's good too.
And Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. They both make me crack up.
I'm liking this one. I have chuckled aloud. Ha ha ha.
Chuckle exactly like that.
That's all I can
They're
laugh
reading.
at.
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. Yes.
Oh my god.
Also, just Sophie. I mentioned this before, but Sophie Kinsella. It's hilarious. And that reminds me, I haven't read her books in like 2 years. We have some that said books, fantasy books for people who don't read fantasy.
I did a whole video on this too.
Well, then recommend them, lady. We're right here.
I did like a starter's, what was it? Starter's Guide to Fantasy or something like that.
Recommend them to me.
I don't know. The Trader's Game by Jennifer A. Nielsen was one of them because that's by an author who like originally wrote middle grade. So it's pretty easy to understand. It's not too complicated, but it will introduce you to like a lot of tropes that you'll see in fantasy typically. What did I title this video? Oh, I don't know what else. Okay, there we go. I found it. Oh, it's not even, it's from October. Wow. Okay.
I just did a video on this.
Amazing. The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale is also a good one. It's kind of like a medieval based fantasy, not too complicated, but introduces you to different magic systems. An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. I know that's kind of one that like people either really enjoyed or they really didn't like it. I personally liked it. It was more like romance focused, which is why I think it would be a good one to start out with because the fantasy aspect of it isn't like the main thing that you're going to be thrown right into. I also have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black on that list, which I think is like a beginners, but like more kind of advanced beginners. But I say that because like part of it is kind of in our world, so it's not too complicated to understand. But yeah, those are just a few from the video.
I think urban fantasy is a really good place to start when you're not too into fantasy. My suggestion is always A Darker Shade of Magic. Like I know I kept saying it in this video, but like I think it's a really, really great series to start reading if you just want to get into fantasy, especially adult fantasy, because it's in part urban fantasy because there's one of the worlds that is our world, but it's also a historical because it's like London in like 18 something, I don't know, maybe early 1900s, I don't remember. And then the other parallel worlds are fantasy worlds. So it mixes our world and fantasy really, really well. And Victoria Schwab does like a really good job of making it very clear and concise. So it's not confusing ever. So I think if you read those, they'll really help you get into fantasy if you're not into it yet. And then you can read everything else.
Liv from Stories for Coffee said, listen, Magic Tree House is great for first-time fantasy people. Don't at me.
Oh that's true.
I agree.
Totally is.
Also like the Raven Cycle, that is like very low fantasy, and that's the type of fantasy that I like. I like feeling like it could be real, and that's with the Diviners too. That's more paranormal, but I would still like count it as like fantastical. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think that people think fantasy is way more intimidating than it actually is. Like I genuinely
high fantasy, like Lord of the Rings.
But that's just because Lord of the Rings is too wordy. Like that's the problem with that book.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some of them get like super wordy and then it's like, nope, I'm out.
It's just like I feel like people have, like I definitely had this, especially before I started reading Mistborns, like Brandon Sanderson. I was like, oh, like that's high fantasy. Like that's going to be a lot for me. But it really like, it's really not that bad. It's really not as confusing as like you think it is. If that's like what's keeping you from getting into fantasy, like don't be afraid of that. Just like start the book and see how you feel about it. There are definitely some that are like Lord of the Rings. Like I love those movies with all of my heart and soul. I watch them literally every single year. I will watch the extended editions, but I hate the book. Like I just think it's so long and unnecessary. So yeah, don't like let the idea of high fantasy intimidate you. You know, I think it's a lot easier than you think it is.
Mm-hmm. I just like the being in my world. I like pretending that it could all happen. That's also why I like Harry Potter and stuff too, because I'm like, I'm waiting for my owl. But yeah. So what do we have? One last one?
Yeah, we can do one last one and then talk about our BookTuber of the week.
Give us Things. Did that work? Did people give us things?
Yes, it worked. That's exactly how it
Yay.
works.
Nailed it.
Okay.
I want to do something super specific.
Yes.
I don't know. I have no. I was gonna try and give you one, but I have nothing. Oh my god. A book where the main character pets a dog.
How about a book that encapsulates the color purple?
I was also thinking of the color purple, but I
There you
love
go.
purple.
You
What
can't say
book-
purple. All I'll think of is BTS.
Right, you have to say the color purple, like the actual book.
Yeah.
There's no other option.
Yeah.
Oh.
No one gave me anything. Ugh,
No, you got nothing.
Useless. Okay.
I've got nothing.
Okay. We have some mystery or thriller books that you can sleep after reading from Dream Rain. So things that are spooky but not too spooky. I think that would be truly devious.
Mm-hmm.
I did read it a lot of times before bed and it was fine. But it still like gets you because it's more of a mystery than a thriller. It's more of like connecting all the dots than like there is.
It's like a
active,
puzzle.
killer.
It's like solving a puzzle.
100%.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that one. I don't read enough mystery and thriller. The thing with like mystery thriller, psychological thrillers is like I have this tendency to like predict what the plot twist is going to be, and then I like figure it out way before it happens, and then it's like not shocking. So
You should be
like me with Woman in the Window. That's why I didn't really like the book because I like saw the plot twist coming from a mile away.
Not relate.
You gotta be like me and come up with outlandish theories.
Like literally,
It always is.
I think it's genuinely because I watch so much like so many crime dramas that like I've seen like all of these tropes happen before, so I'm like, oh, this is what's gonna happen. So that's why.
That's why I'm like, no, it can't be that. It needs to be this dumb explanation. A lot of people are saying Agatha Christie. I very much agree. They're also so short, so you could probably read them like 2 times before, like 2 nights before you're going to bed. You can read like half of it in one night, half the other. I read like all of Murder on the Orient Express before bed one night because I couldn't put it down, but it wasn't like scary. None of her books are really scary, and I like that. Big Little Lies as well. I'm gonna keep it in because it's also like it's more of a puzzle than it's like there's not like an active killer coming for everybody.
Do we want to talk about our booktuber of the week now?
Yeah.
So our booktuber of the week is Joe from Average Joe Reads. We all finally got to meet him in person at BookCon this past weekend, and it was so great to meet him. He's wonderful. He has fantastic videos, and he's also a fan of BTS. So like, shout out. Hailey's done. I'm sorry. But he was just the sweetest. It was so great to meet him in person, and I've been watching his videos for a while now. So highly recommend checking out his channel. It's linked in the description box below if you want to go and subscribe to him. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. Just another reminder, our live show for Clockwork Angel is I was going to say tomorrow, Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on my channel. We're just going to be talking about the book. So if you have read it before or you want to read it for the first time, you still have time to read it. It's honestly like not that long. It won't take you very long to read the book.
You're such a liar.
I believe in you, Hailey. It's not that long.
I'm going to die.
You can do it. It's fine. You can just use me as Spark Notes. I've read this book like 100 times.
No, you gotta read it. You can't Spark Note it. You gotta read it.
Spark Note it.
No.
I don't know how to read.
No,
you already read the book.
You can't Spark Note it. I can be your Spark Notes, though.
Thanks, girl.
You're welcome. I got you.
Always looking out for me in my time of need.
But yeah, so if you would like to join us for that live show, we will be back here on Sunday to talk about all things Clockwork Angel. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining us today. We will see you on Sunday and again next week. Also, just want to say thank you to everyone who came up to us during Book Expo and BookCon week. It was so great to meet all of you. Thank you for all of your kind words about our individual channels and Bookmarked. Like that means a lot. So just wanted to say that. But yeah, love you all, and we will see you on Sunday. Goodbye.
Bye.